Any luck, there will be a rare overnight shuttle launch this week. Endeavour is set to blast off Tuesday for a 16-day mission. 7 astronauts will be on board to deliver a Canadian-made two-armed robot named Dextre to the International Space Station. In future missions, Dextre will help spacewalking astronauts build and maintain the station. And joining us to talk about the Dextre module is Kevin Short, the president of the Canadian Space Society. Kevin, thanks you very much for joining us.
My pleasure.
What can you tell us about Dextre?
Well, Dextre is a remote manipulator system that has 2 hands on it, so it's different from the Canadarm in the sense that it has these little hands that will be able to maneuver, find things, and use tools to change out batteries and swap out components on the space station.
So, Canada supplying arms, now hands. It seems like we're absolutely invaluable in the space industry.
We most certainly are, especially when it comes to the construction of the space station, because it's these robots that are integral in the construction of the space station.
So if Canada is so integral, why is there this big worry that perhaps Canada isn't going to have the same kind of profile that it's had in the past?
Sure. Well, of course, the biggest reason is that the shuttles are retiring in 2010, and as a lot of the public knows, is that has been what is Canada's major contribution to the space program, is these Canadarms. And with the space shuttle going out of service in 2010, they're going to be, that one thing that Canadians have had to latch on to as far as Canada's involvement in space is going to go away a little bit. It's going to transform into something on the space station and focus more on the space station, but it's going to fade and change.
So as the astronauts get set to take Dextre up with them, their new great pal, I guess, what is that machine going to do that's going to save them some work?
Well, essentially what it's going to do is it's going to allow them from having to go out all the time to do EVAs. So a lot of the mundane kind of work, as I mentioned, swapping out batteries, swapping out computer components, a lot of that won't necessarily have to be done by astronauts anymore because Dextre can do it. And astronauts being able to do it takes a lot of time. It's like 3 or 4 hours just to prep for a walk like that.
If the shuttle doesn't have the same profile that it has had recently and for many years, is there some other use that Dextre could have with the American program down the road?
Well, certainly the main purpose of Dextre is to be strictly on the space station. They're flying it up on the shuttle and delivering it to the space station. And so the long-term goals for Dextre is whatever they need work done on the outside of the space station, Dextre's there to do it.
From your point of view, is the future of the Canadian presence in space better because of this development, or is there still a decline?
Well, certainly this is sort of the last milestone as far as Canadian robotics is concerned. There are no firm projects that are in the works, or well, certainly not any that are of public knowledge. And so Dextre represents the last known project within the industry and to certain small sectors of the public that, producing this kind of robotics. So certainly what goes on from here is anybody's guess.
All right, Kevin Short, president of the Canadian Space Society, thanks very much for joining us.
My pleasure.
Also with his eyes on your skies is CTV's Anwar Knight, who has a look at your forecast for the new and, of course, snow-covered week.
Thank you. Well, finally, some calm conditions to start off the new work week after a very active weekend, and one that will likely take days, if not weeks, to clean up after that storm, that is. It wasn't just snow either. Commanding amounts from Ontario to Quebec, 20 to 50 centimeters, but also liquid precipitation, 40 to 80 millimeters across the Maritimes. In fact, in Sydney, you climbed up to 12 degrees on the plus side Saturday overnight, dropped down to the freezing mark 4 hours later, and then had 10 hours of freezing rain, and that has been a big problem. Yet still 34 centimeters in northeastern areas of New Brunswick. So everything worked out pretty well as we were forecasting, and the cleanup begins. We still have some stormy weather, but this time it's on the west coast, wet and windy for you as an